Every day, millions of people are promised instant wealth. Whether it's a new coin, a once-in-a-lifetime stock tip, or a revolutionary startup that will supposedly change the world overnight, the message is the same. Get in now, get rich tomorrow. But while these schemes lure countless dreamers, smart investors, the ones who build real lasting wealth, quietly walk away. Today, we'll explore why the smartest investors ignore quick-rich schemes, and we'll uncover the real-world stories that reveal why patience, discipline, and skepticism are the true keys to financial success. Let's rewind to the late 1990s. The internet was exploding. A brand new digital world was being built, and Wall Street couldn't get enough of it. Tech startups with no profits, sometimes no product, were raising millions just by adding .com to their name. Ordinary people were buying stocks of companies they didn't understand, simply because they didn't want to miss out on the so-called new economy. For a brief moment, paper millionaires were everywhere. The promise, quick, effortless riches. But then, the bubble burst. By 2002, the Nasdaq had lost nearly 80% of its value. Fortunes vanished, retirement accounts collapsed, and many who chased the dream of overnight wealth were left with nothing. Yet there was another group, those who ignored the hype, who stuck to fundamentals, who invested with patience and discipline. They not only survived the crash but thrived in the years after. The lesson? The lure of quick wealth is timeless, but so is its destruction. Quick-rich schemes come in many disguises. Penny stocks, multi-level marketing, day trading courses, crypto pump and dump groups, or even glossy ads for guaranteed real estate flips. They always share three traits: promises of extraordinary returns with little effort, an urgent call to act immediately or risk missing out, a lack of transparency or fundamentals. Human psychology is what makes them powerful. Fear of missing out, FOMO, tricks our brains into thinking we're about to be left behind. Greed whispers that we can skip the hard, slow path and jump straight to riches. But smart investors know. Wealth isn't built overnight, it compounds over years, even decades. They understand that if something sounds too good to be true, it almost always is. One of the most infamous examples is Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. For decades, Madoff promised consistent, market-beating returns. No volatility, no losses, just steady profits year after year. Investors poured in billions. Wealthy individuals, charities, even sophisticated institutions. They thought they had found the perfect, effortless investment. But here's the truth. No legitimate strategy can guarantee returns without risk. Madoff wasn't investing the money at all. He was using new investors' funds to pay old investors. It worked, until it didn't. When the 2008 financial crisis hit and too many investors asked to withdraw, the house of cards collapsed. More than $60 billion evaporated, families were ruined, lives destroyed. And here's the sobering part. Many smart investors had passed on Madoff years earlier. Why? Because they knew that consistent, guaranteed returns with no explanation were impossible. They trusted their knowledge over their greed. So why do smart investors ignore quick, rich schemes? It's not just caution, it's discipline. They operate by timeless principles. Rule #1, protect your capital. If you lose money chasing hype, it takes years to recover. Rule #2, understand what you own. If you can't explain how an investment makes money, you have no business putting your hard-earned cash in it. Rule #3, focus on the long game. Compounding over decades outperforms nearly every scheme. Warren Buffett, often called the greatest investor of our time, is a perfect example. During the dot-com frenzy, he was mocked for avoiding tech IPOs. Pundits said he was too old, too slow, that he didn't get it. But Buffett stayed in his lane, investing in businesses with clear fundamentals. When the bubble popped, guess who was still standing? Smart investors know the difference between speculation and investment. Speculation chases a story. Investment studies reality. Fast forward to the 2017 cryptocurrency boom. Bitcoin skyrocketed from under $1,000 to nearly $20,000 in just 1 year. Suddenly, every coffee shop, every college dorm, every social media feed was buzzing about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and hundreds of obscure altcoins. New investors believed they had found the golden ticket. Stories of teenagers becoming millionaires went viral. But here's the problem. Many of these coins had no purpose, no adoption, no fundamentals. They were classic pump and dump schemes. And when the bubble burst in 2018, Bitcoin lost over 80% of its value, and most altcoins became worthless. Yet again, smart investors weren't chasing the hype. They studied the underlying technology, the risks, and the reality. Many stayed out, or only allocated a small controlled portion of their portfolio. They saw through the noise and recognized the difference between innovation and speculation. If quick-rich schemes are traps, then what actually works? The answer is deceptively simple: time, patience, and discipline. The wealthiest investors in history, Buffett, Charlie Munger, Ray Dalio, Peter Lynch, didn't build fortunes overnight. They compounded modest returns over decades. Consider this. If you invest $10,000 at a 10% annual return, you'll have $25,000 in 10 years. But in 30 years, over $174,000. That's the magic of compounding. Slow, boring, steady, and unbeatable. Let me share one final story. It's not about billionaires or scandals. It's about an ordinary man named Ronald Read. He was a janitor and gas station attendant in Vermont. He lived frugally, invested small amounts in blue-chip stocks, and held them for decades. When he died in 2014, the world was shocked to learn that Ronald Read had quietly amassed an $8 million fortune. No quick schemes, no shortcuts, just patience, discipline, and consistency. That's the real secret. The smartest investors don't fall for hype because they know true wealth grows slowly, invisibly, until one day it looks like an overnight success. Quick rich schemes will never disappear. They adapt with the times, from dot-com stocks to crypto coins, from Ponzi schemes to TikTok gurus. But the story never changes. Easy money ends in pain. Smart investors ignore the noise, they study, they wait, they understand that in the markets patience isn't just a virtue, it's a superpower. So the next time you see a promise of instant riches, remember the lessons of the past. Remember the investors who walked away, and remember that wealth built slowly with discipline and knowledge is the only wealth that truly lasts.